wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. We give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who has spared our lives to this moment. May He accept our endeavors as an act of ibadah. Ameen. Welcome us back to the Free Nahw and Sorfu class. So this is Nahw class 32. And inshallah tonight we are going to be looking at Kana wa akhawatuha. Kana wa akhawatuha. So the book we are using still remains Nahw Wadi al-Juzul Awwal, the first part of Nahw Wadi for Idadi. So Kana wa akhawatuha. Kana and its sisters. So we are going to look at what we use Kana wa akhawatuha, what we use it for, and how تدخل كان على المبتدأ والخبر فترفع الأول ويسمى اسمها وتنصب الثانية ويسمى خبرها. Said Kana enters upon Mubtada and Khobar. If we can't remember what Mubtada and Khobar is now, we should refer to the previous classes it has been taken before. So تدخل كان على المبتدأ and Khobar. So it enters upon Mubtada and Khobar. We use it with Mubtada and Khobar. فترفع الأول, and it gives the first one raf'un. It gives the first one raf'un. And we know that Mubtada and Khobar are usually nouns. They are usually nouns. They are ismu. So, and you say fatarfa'ul awwal, the basic sign for raf'un in ismu is dhamma. That's the basic sign for raf'un in ismu is what? Is dhamma. If it is not Jamo Mudhakkar Salim, if it is not a plural. So for singular or other plurals, the sign for raf'un in nouns is what? Is dhamma. So for tarfa'ul awwal, that is, it will give the first ismu dhamma or yusamma ismaha, and then it is called ismu kana. The first one that is given raf'un will be called ismu kana. Fatansibu thaniya wa yusamma khabaruha. Then it will now give the second one nasbu, that is fatha. Then it will be called what? Khabaru kana, khabaruha, khabaru kana. So when we use kana against mubtada and khabar, it gives one dhamma and raf'un, and it gives the other nasbu. The one that takes raf'un is called ismu kana, and the one that takes nasbu is khabaru kana. The second qaida, we have mislu kana fima taqaddamu. Saro wa Laisa wa asbaha wa amsa wa adha wa dhulla wa bata wa tusamma hadhihi al-af'al akhawat kana. So other examples of verbs that are similar to kana are Saro, Laisa, asbaha, amsa, adha, dhulla, bata, and all these verbs are called the sisters of kana, akhawatu kana. So when you hear kana wa akhawatuha, we're talking about kana and the other verbs Saro, Laisa, asbaha, amsa, adha, dhulla, and bata. The third qaida, لكل فعل من هذه الأفعال مضارع وأمر يعملان عمل الماضي إلا ليس فلا يأتي منها مضارع ولا أمر. So he said all of the verbs that are here, all of them, they have their mudari and they also have their what? Their amru. They have their fi'lu mudari and they have their what? Fi'lu amru. So they all perform the work of the madi, of fi'lu madi, all of them, except Laisa that does not have mudari and amru. So kana has mudari and amru. Soro, asbaha, amsa, adha, dhulla, and bata, they all have mudari and what? And fi'lu amrin. Then but Laisa does not have fi'lu mudari, does not have fi'lu amr. So it is just fi'lu madi Laisa, just that. It does not come in mudari and it does not come in amru. So moving to the examples, we have our mubtada and khabar first. Az-zihamu shadidun. Az-zihamu shadidun. The crowd, the traffic is severe. The traffic is severe. So when we add kana to it, we have kana zihamu shadidan. If you recall the first qaida that we read, he said yarfa'ul awwal, which is the mubtada. This is the awwal. Usually in our mubtada and khabar, the mubtada comes first. The mubtada comes first, and it is usually in marifa form. It is in marifa form. So the one that is in marifa form that comes first here is az-zihamu, and it is the mubtada. So from the coinder it says Kana gives the mubtada, that is the first one, it gives it raf'un, and we can see here that the ziham is taking duma. And watensibu thaniya, watensibu thaniya wa yusamma khobaroha. So and it gives the second one, which is the khobar. Our mubtada takes raf'un, while the khobar takes what? Takes nasbu when kana comes to it. So it gives the second one nasbu, and it is called khobaru kana. So our ismu kana here is az-ziham. Our khobaru kana here is shadidan. So the meaning of az-ziham shadidun is the traffic is severe. But when kana now comes in, it changes the meaning. So what do we use kana for? Kana is used to use a khobar to describe the mubtada in the past. So we have kana zihamu shadidan, the traffic was severe. When kana comes in, the traffic was severe. So the second example, al baytu nadhifun, the house is neat. Al baytu nadhifun, the house is neat. Kana al baytu nadhifan, the house was neat. So al baytu is the ismu kana, nadhifan is the khabaru kana. Then next we have athawbu qasirun, the shirt, the cloth. Athawbu qasirun, the cloth is short. Saro thawbu qasirun. Saro, now Saro is not used the same way as kana. It has another meaning. Saro is used for changing from one state to another. Changing from one state to another. That is the usage of sorrow. So Saro thawbu qasirun, the clothes became what? Became short. That it means that the cloth was not short before, so now it's now short. So it has changed from one state to another. Saro thawbu qasirun, the clothes became short. Al bardu qarisun, the cold is severe. Al bardu qarisun, the cold is severe. Saro al bardu qarisan, the cold became severe. So al bardu here is ismu soro, and qaris is what? Khabaru soro. The next example, al khadimu qawiyun, the servant is strong. The servant is strong. So we have then the next ikhwa of kana we have here is Laisa. Laisa al khadimu qawiyan. So Laisa is used to negate. Laisa is used to negate. So here it is going to mean the servant is not strong. Our mutada and khabar is affirming the statement, but Laisa is now used to what? To negate. So Laisa al khadimu qawiyan, the servant is not strong. So al khadim is ismu Laisa, qawiyan is khabaru Laisa. Next example, al amilu nashitun, the worker is energetic. The worker is energetic, or the worker is active. So Laisa al amilu nashitun, the worker is not active, or the worker is not energetic. So al amil ismu Laisa, nashitun is khabaru Laisa. Don't forget, ismu Laisa is the one that takes raf'un, while the khabar is the one that takes nasbu for all of them, from kana, all of kana and them its sisters. The next example here we have an-nahimu maridun, the glutton is sick. Asbaha an-nahimu maridun, the now asbaha, amsa, adha, dhalla and bata, those 5 verbs, they can be used in 2 ways. The first way is to denote description of that particular word in the past, just like kana, but their time will not be specific depending on the kind of verb we use among the 5. So asbaha, we now denote the time of the morning for that meaning. So asbaha nahimu maridun, the glutton became sick the glutton was sick in the morning. The glutton was sick in the morning. Don't forget, I said they have two meanings. One of them is to describe the noun, the mubtada, with the khabar, just like Kana does. But here, the time will now be specified instead of just being in the past like Kana. So the time will be specified. So asbahan nahimu maridun. The glutton was sick in the morning. Al jawu mumtirun. The weather is raining or the weather is drizzly. Asbah al jawu mumtiron. Then the weather was drizzly or is rainy, was rainy in the morning. The weather was rainy in the morning. So the second meaning is now to denote what sorrow denotes. You know, we said sorrow here. Sorrow denotes change of state, changing from one state to another. So asbaha and its family, asbaha, amsa, adha, dholla and bata, they can also be used to denote change of state. So we can say asbaha nahim maridon. The glutton became sick in the morning. So that means it was fine before, and when it was when it was in the morning, then it became sick. The glutton became sick in the morning. So this denotes change of state. Asbahal jawu mumtiron. The rain became what? Became rainy in the morning. So it can also just denote sorrow without adding time. So we can just say asbahan nahimu maridon. The glutton became sick without adding the time. It also denotes that. So al-amil mut'abun. The worker is tired. Amsal amil mut'aban. The worker became tired, or the worker was tired in the evening. So you know, I said this family, asbaha and his family, they can denote two meaning, either the same meaning as kana or the same meaning as sorrow, but with the specification of the time. So az-zaharu dhabilun. The flower is withered. Amsa zaharu dhabilun. The flower became withered in the evening. Al-ghamamu kathifun. The cloud is thick. Adha al-ghamamu kathifan. The cloud was thick in the time of duha. The cloud was thick in the time of duha, or the cloud became thick in the time of duha. So that is that. Ash-shari'u muzdahimun. The street is crowdy. The street is crowdy. Adha ash-shari'u muzdahiman. The street was crowdy in the time of duha, or the street became crowdy in the time of duha. Either it denotes the meaning of kana, that is describing the noun in the past while specifying the time, or denoting change of state from one state to another. That is the meaning of sorrow. So the other one, the next example, we have al-mataru ghazirun. The rain is heavy. The rain is very heavy. Dhalla al-mataru ghazirun. The rain was heavy in the afternoon, or the rain became heavy in the afternoon. The next one, al-ghubaru tha'irun. The dust is eruptive. The dust is eruptive. Dhalla al-ghubaru tha'irun. The dust became eruptive in the afternoon, or dust was eruptive in the afternoon. Al-misbahu muttaqidun. Al-misbahu muttaqidun. The lamp is glowing. The lamp is glowing. Bata al-misbahu muttaqidan. The lamp was glowing in the night, or the lamp became glowy at night. Became glowy in the night. Al-maridu muta'allimun. The sick person, muta'allimun, is in pain, is in agony, is suffering. Bata al-maridu muta'allimun. The sick person begins to suffer in the night, or was suffering in the night. So I said asbaha, bata, dholla, adha, amsa. They can denote the meaning of kana, that is describing the noun in the past, or denotes the meaning of sorrow. So but the time will be specified. So bata is used to denote night, dholla afternoon, adha, time of duha, amsa, the evening, and then asbaha, the morning. So these are kana and its sisters. So kana is used to describe the mubtada with the khobar in the past. Saro is used to denote change between states of the mubtada using the khobar. While asbaha, amsa, adha. So taking a look at this, at the bahs, the explanation, what I've explained earlier is what we are going to find here. He says وإذا تدبرت معاني هذه الأفعال في أمثلتها وجدت أن كان تفيد اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر في الزمن الماضي. So he said if you ponder over the meaning of all these verbs in its example, إذا تدبرت, so if you ponder معاني هذه الأفعال في أمثلتها, the meaning of هذه الأفعال, these verbs in the examples, وجدت أن كان وجدت أن كان, you will find that كان تفيد اتصاف المبتدأ بالخبر, denotes the description of the mubtada with the khabar في الزمن الماضي, in the past. وصار تدل على تحول المبتدا من حال إلى حال, and صار denotes the changing of the mubtada from one state to another. وليس تفيد النفي, and ليس denotes negation. أما أصبح وأمسى وأضحى وظل وبات فتفيد توقيت اتصاف المبتدا بالخبر بالصباح والمساء والضحى والنهار والليل على الترتيب. So it says, but asbaha, amsa, adha, dholla, and bata, like I have explained earlier, to feed tawqit tisaf will mutala bil khobar, they denote the time of the description, the mutada with the khobar. Bisoba, in the morning, wal masa, in the evening, wal duha, in the time of duha, wal nahar, in the afternoon, wal layl, and the night, ala tertib, respectively. So like I've explained earlier, they are used to what? To denote the description of the mutada with the khobar, but with the time specific, just like Kana. But in Kana, the time was not specific. But with this Asbaha and its family, the time will be specific. And also it is also used to denote the meaning of sorrow. Also used to denote the meaning of sorrow with the time specific. So these are Kana and its sister. They give the mubtada raf'un. They give the what? Mubtada raf'un, and they give the khobar. They give it nasbu, and the mubtada is now called ismu kana or ismu soro, or whatever the verb we use, and then the khobar will now be called khobaru kana, khobaru soro, or whatever the verb we use. So we can check the examples again so as to get them very well. The examples are much, so we have to go over them again, and we can also check the exercises that are in this book. So inshallah, this is where we are going to stop for tonight. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So don't forget, this is just part 1. If you see in the description of the class that this is just part 1, there is the part 2 where we're going to talk about the number of each of those verbs. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.